When we're talking about what's going to happen to Franklin Richards in this movie, I feel like when they say it gets personal, they're showing us these sweet family moments in this new trailer. I don't think this movie is going to end with the family altogether. I think it's going to end with them sending baby Franklin into exile to get him to a safe haven, kind of like baby Moses in the basket. They're going to push baby Franklin through a black hole or leave him somewhere else to keep him away from Galactus and away from themselves. And it's going to be kind of a heartbreak because I think Franklin Richards is a fascinating character that can be used to link all different corners of the future of the MCU. But you run the risk of making him too much of like a Paul Atreides person who's just like, and I say Paul Atreides because I want Timothée Chalamet to play him at one age of his life. I want Keanu Reeves to play him at a later age of his life.
Whoa.
But if you make him kind of the one, the way Keanu Reeves has played the one in The Matrix, you have to make him kind of a mythological figure in a way who's not always there hanging out, but just kind of returns through a portal every now and then to do something crazy and save the day. And then he disappears and goes back into exile.
Literally Cable.
Yes, it's Cable, but rather than someone who's scarred and tortured by some weird retro, not even retrofuturist, but steampunk future.
Yeah, steampunk future.
Almost like a Jesus figure who comes in like and just stitches and fixes everything and then disappears. Like, I think you could use him to bridge the mutant saga with the cosmic saga that could come after that. But in order for that to happen is you have to extract him from his family in this movie. It has to end with the baby leaving the family.
I think we have to also figure out how do we balance in the MCU all of these like super OP like characters, because we have if Franklin Richards and then the Sentry and then if
Gaia.
Wanda's still alive or not, who else?
Gaia from Secret
I was
Invasion.
literally about to say,
Oh my God.
from Secret
Yep,
Invasion.
Oh my God.
Who just doesn't exist anymore? Maybe, I don't know. And then it's just like all Sorcerer Supreme. Maybe, I don't. But yeah, I feel like I'm like, who? Not that one has to be the strongest. Like, I think that's cool to have them competitive. But even when what's her name, Valentina, she was just like talking about him being stronger, than all the Avengers combined. I'm just like, but like, is he, or is it just because she hasn't encountered like Thor lately or Captain Marvel or whoever? I'm just like, where is where's the cap? But like, I don't know, something. There's a lot of OP characters, and I need them to I just need them to fight. Maybe, maybe I need all of them to fight.
That I feel like, and maybe it's just me and playing video games. I'm like, they gotta get nerfed a little bit, because once I saw Gaia, I was like, that's just impossible. Like, I can't have this character running around going crazy because she can destroy everything. That doesn't make any sense. And I kind of felt that way with Sentry, but I was like, Sentry has his limitations. He literally cannot get into that form without destroying everything. Yeah. So I'm like, it might be a cap. I'm like, I need a little justifications to their limits. A little bit. And if I get my Marvel Jesus and Franklin Richards, I'm like, he has to go immediately as soon as he fixes something.
His limit
he cannot stay here.
So he should have a 60-second countdown from the moment he enters the universe and he leaves. That way you can control how much you have to pay Timothée Chalamet and Keanu Reeves to appear in these movies.
How much do you think Timothée Chalamet's worth?
I think if I'm there for 1 second longer than a minute, it's another million
Stop
that
it.
you got to
Shut
pay
the
me.
hell up. I don't think he gets that much
He's like,
from
I'm
Dune.
Chalamet, motherfucker.
Nix.
Keanu will do it for free because he's the nicest man in Hollywood. I'm convinced. Yeah, maybe not them, but I think you have to get someone, because this baby can't stay a baby forever.
No,
it's
100%.
just too hard to have a baby actor in these movies. Get an actor in their 20s.
Would it
Baby
get a baby actor? Would it be annoying to see since we're already shaping time in this movie, baby's born, right? Baby Franklin Richards, and then future him shows up already in the same scene. Would that be too much?
Okay,
he's like, I have to, I cannot explain this whatsoever. But like, he's like, he shows up, he's like, I can take myself or something to that degree. Like, we meet future Franklin Richards. Would that be too much?
No, I don't think so. That is kind of like the
Trunks.
common understanding of time travel, that you can have a separate body walks into a room and that is the future version of yourself. Yeah. I think in the multiverse, that is typically how it works. We've seen duplicates of people.
Because I'm like, you
with
could
Loki
get that,
and Avengers Endgame.
You could get that Keanu Reeves coming in, taking the baby away, or someone again. And I don't have a problem with this being like X-Men 97. But that's what literally Bishop did with Cable. He was like, I have enough ammunition to go one way. I can take this baby right now and get it away from you guys. And that's what he did. He just disappeared, and then Cable came back to save the day. But
Well, knowing what we know,
Yeah.
and we know some stuff about X-Men 97 because we know some people who worked on it. We know some of the drama there. But knowing what we know about it, it seems like, I don't want to bum anyone out, but it seems like the plans for what might be happening with Nathan Summers and Cable and the Age of Apocalypse season might just be a little underbaked just because things were a little chaotic on that show and in that writer's room. There was a lot of egos at play. And it's going to be annoying when season 2 comes out because people are going to be like, wait, why is this? Oh, it must be because they fired so-and-so. And then it's going to be like, well, or maybe things just were going to shit at that time. And that's why that person.
Wait, they just like never had a plan to continue these
I think
things?
they had ideas of a plan. They have a concept of a plan, 12% of a plan.
Perfect.
I don't think they're going to be going back to a lot of the storyline, especially the stuff that involved Trask or Mr. Sinister or any of that stuff. I think, or maybe they will, but I don't think they're going to go back to the Mr. Sinister part of it all. But I think like that part with Cable stayed in the first season, and I remember it from that season. Not the first season. The new X-Men 97 season. It's not going to show up in the second, but I will always remember it from the first season.
Well, and what has been publicly told about the way Marvel Studios is now dividing these projects is like Marvel Television is one thing, Marvel Studios is another thing, and they're not often looking at each other's work. It's impossible for Kevin Feige to have his eyes on every draft of everything, and I think they're letting Marvel Television, especially like season 1 of X-Men 97, that they probably didn't expect to be that much. They were just happy that it was happening, looking at storyboards, giving some notes, but like every plot point, I don't think they were really paying that much attention to it until after season 1 started to get promoted and came out. So now you're going to start to see the Marvel thing of like, well, we don't want it to overlap with what we're doing here. But season 1, yeah, I'm just saying like in the live action Mutant Saga, you're going to see some of these Goblin Queen story arcs. You're going to see some redundancies that we saw in season 1. You'll see a Genosha arc, you know? I think you're going to see a Bolivar Trask, Senator Kelly Sentinel arc. You'll see OZT.
I see where this is going.
Bastion.
I'm not saying it's bad that Cable did it. I'm not saying that I think it's bad for them to copy the same plot. I will say if he is the Marvel Jesus that bridges the mutants, it's kind of hard to like not forget what Cable has done, or at least that it happened to Cable. Yeah. And I'm not saying they can't not do it. I'm just saying that like, oh yeah, Cable did this the exact same way. Yeah, that's true. That's just what happened. I'm not saying it's a negative thing. I'm just saying I noticed this.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And I think, I do think a lot of these storylines do end up being a bit derivative, a bit kind of like, oh, it kind of makes sense that they would do that. I don't think that the ship that arrived in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene is just a cradle that contains baby Franklin. I think that's too similar to Superman. That's too similar to
Superman. It has to
Superman.
be the team, I think.
Yeah, it has to be a group of them. I think it is like a refugee ship with the Fantastic Four with some of the X-Men because they went to the X-Men universe first. That's my theory.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you have to explain.
You
have to explain the other universes.
Okay, so my thinking is this is not the ship. It's a different ship for one. It has 4 fins in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, and a lot of the ships that we see in the Fantastic Four trailer footage has 3 fins. So this is a future ship that I think is from a distant future, not distant, but just beyond what we see in the Fantastic Four First Steps film. So I think in Avengers Doomsday, what we'll see in the opening act is Reed Richards and the other 3 going to the X-Men universe first. Because we know Alan Cumming has said that Nightcrawler's gonna be in a fight scene with Reed Richards, with Pedro Pascal. So I think we're gonna see that universe where Monica Rambeau was with Beast in the Marvel's post-credit scene. That's gonna be the X-Men universe. With all the X-Men, all the OG X-Men, Patrick Stewart, Alan Cumming, Famke Janssen, Ian McKellen, they'll all be there. Reed Richards is gonna go there first. Doom is in the process of wrecking that universe. They're going to have to fight them, be like, hey, work with us. We're going to get you out of here. And they're like, what are you talking about? Look up in the sky, motherfucker. He's here. They'll get as many of them out of there as they can and then go to the 616 universe. And that's how they'll get there. And that's the ship that we see, in my opinion, the ship that we see in the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts.
It makes sense. I like it.